Hello. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good. Are you on? Hello. And welcome to the program. It is Sunday, June 13th, the year 2021, and we're having a good time. I don't know if many of you noticed, but I have a new logo on the show, and I added a new theme song. I thought it was time for a refresher and an update. Maybe some new merch surrounding it coming up on Monday, which is tomorrow. In the meantime, I must note that after I set this video to go live, it immediately got demonetized, and then I have to request a review. The logo apparently is so sexy that they thought it might be inappropriate content to monetize, is what it said. So I had to review it, and then I'm sure someone from the YouTube team is watching this right now and realizing I'm not going to be talking about anything remotely sexual. Nevertheless, let's take a look at these fun, hip things. They're red and lime. I guess this is lime. It's lighter. You could even make an argument it's sort of tinged yellow. But it's like a cherry limeade kind of thing. And I think they're hip. And I think they're fun. And I think they're ushering in a new era, a new logo. Sexy. It's too sexy. You can't be fully monetized if you're that sexy. So you got to be a little sexy and wholesome. I don't know what my demo is. Let me know in the comments what you think, what you would tell a TV station what my demo is. Not quite sure where I fit. Little bit of everything. Sometimes you can be too broad, and sometimes you can be too niche. You have to find a broad niche is what I found. Let's talk to people. Tom said good morning. Alice said good afternoon. Ty said, hello, RJ. Hope you're doing well this morning. I'm doing, that sounded like a threat. You're like, I hope you're doing well with everything that's going on. I hope everything's okay. So I'm defensive about it. Poe Girl says good morning. Leo says, hello, everyone. Good, whatever time it is, wherever you are. And thank you, because Alice said good afternoon, and that messes me up. It really throws me off. Poe Girl said, trying that new Coffee Mate Creamer Unlocked Italian Espresso Roast. Do you work for the company? That sounds just like a straight plug. I've never heard of it before, but now everyone else has. Nell said, good morning, using the proper emoji. Oh, yeah, everybody, my channel members voted on these underwear. We had two choices. We had the red with the lime, and then we had the gray with maroon, and you skewed maroon, as most people often do. Maroon is red that people don't really care for. Positively said, merch freak. I like to design. Missy said, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone has a great day. That sounds like a threat against everyone. Sean said, hey, yo, culties. Clint said, well, hi. Positively E said, hi. Sean said, lime. Positively E says, lime. I agree. Clint said, how's the entertaining going? None of your fucking business. Positively E said, demo 60 to 80 to dead. And, an unhealthy 60 could be dead at any time. Poker's like, you're too sexy for your skivvies. Well, they wouldn't monetize me if I was in the buff, as they say. Clarence said, hi, RJ, how are you doing today? Yesterday was the biggest announcement that Super Mario teams up with the Rabbids for another sequel crossover called Mario plus Rabbids 2, Sparks of Hope. I don't think the Rabbids are good enough to be on Mario's level, to be honest with you. I was playing The Majors, a Sega Game Gear baseball game from 1993 yesterday. And I loved it. I played it as a child, and I continue to play it. And I did well, and I'm proud of myself. Positively E said, I didn't like the sound of gray. Gray phonetically sounds gross. Gray, as opposed to lime or red. Red. You got to put a little, just to say the word red, you have to put a little anger. Consonants, Gray. Kind of trails off, Okay, Gamer said, well, hi, and well, also hi to you. Jasmine said, good morning, everyone. Cherry Limeade is refreshing, bright, and summery, so it was the best choice. Seasonally, I agree. Maybe in the fall, there'll be more call for gray and maroon. Reveng said, why not crimson or a nice Italian red? Crimson just sounds like death and murder and everything wrong. And Italian red, I don't know quite what that means. And I would ask you, be correct to define further. Nail said, I think your demo is literally everyone. We have a good mix of people here who probably don't know why they can't resist being here. Well, and I'm here to remind you it's a dysfunction. There's something wrong with you that happened before you ever came across me. And that's what drew you here. It's a dysfunction. I'm dysfunctional. The content is just, I wouldn't call this functional content. You're not, if you learn anything, it's usually incidentally, certainly not by design. I wouldn't say I'm Bill Nye. So it's a meeting of dysfunctions. Aaron said, ahoy, apropos of nothing, because we've been talking on land this entire time. Is there a seafaring question you have, Aaron? Spot Center said, is a coffee maker an appliance or me? It's an appliance. It's not a major appliance. Major, I think like the big five. My dad said that once. He was talking to an appliance guy. I said, we're just looking for the big five. Like he was in some sort of like big five, Jimmy. Jimmy, give me the big, like he was at a casino where you bet appliances. Fridge, stove, dishwasher, washer, dryer, no? Or does appliance mean just kitchen? Because if appliance means kitchen, then you probably sink, microwave, I don't even think is major. Toaster isn't major. Anything you can pick up and walk around with, I don't think is major. So if we're talking big five, the whole house, washer, dryer, fridge, stove, dishwasher. That's got to be it. Because a toilet is not an appliance. I mean, you apply things. There are some applications involved when you're on the toilet. I got really off track and I've missed everyone's. So Kari said, good morning. My mom was supposed to join, but she's still asleep. She had a full day. It was her first time on a boat. And anyone over the age of 35, if you've never been on a boat before, I would imagine your first time on is an overwhelming experience. There's so many things like 35. There's a bunch of things you should do before 35. Like you should fly. You don't need to go skydiving. You can avoid that your whole life. But if your first time on a plane, anyone I know who's been on a plane or a boat or has swimmed after 35, that's like, whoa, this is a big thing. I also knew a guy who got circumcised and he was like 40. There's some things you should that are bad, but they are so minorly bad that they should happen when you're a baby. So you get them over with. You know what I'm saying? Circumcision, absolutely one of those things. I do not know the circumstances of the circumcision. I don't think he was converting. But maybe he just got tired of it and said, it has to go. House cleaning. And I assume it was incredibly painful. And I could not fathom what it would be like. You see penis for 40 years. This one's mine. This is what it looks like. It must feel like shaving your head. You know, some people just all of a sudden shave their head and they're like, oh my God, it frightens people. Although I don't know how many people you're showing your penis to. I would say by 40, a handful of people are going to see your penis and also notice the difference. Maybe I would say less than 5 people would be seeing your penis. And anyone else who's seeing it would be new. Say you're divorced and you're dating, and then they know you as just a circumcised person. I'm going to write a play about this guy who got circumcised at 40. And it's going to be called A Little Off the Top. Is Sonic bringing back the Flickies? Yes, and it's going to be Sonic and the Flickies against Mario and the Rabbids in tennis. Remember Mario Tennis? I mean, you just like the whole fucking game is tennis. Couldn't pick a variety of sports. How much storage is the mechanics of tennis taking up? So Karia, back to your mother. Gee, I got sidetracked. Back to your mother. That's okay. Tell her I love her. I will be here next week. If she's not on a boat the day before, she's more than welcome to watch. Leo said, SM said, I'm sassy today. I love it. Leo said, what's the best and worst soda? I have this theory, anecdotally based on my experience, that Diet caffeine-free Coke, which is in the gold can, tastes better than any other kind of Coke. Regular Coke, Pepsi, Diet Coke. At the top of the line for me is that gold can. I don't know why. I don't know what it does to my body or what it doesn't do, and maybe that's why I like it. But I swear to you, if I had to pick one, I would be going for that one. I enjoy it. Cherry soda is great in theory, but too overwhelming. It's just root beer is a lot, but you got a root beer like a Dad's root beer. You know, you're on the side of you pull over and you're at a diner and they have Dad's. Get Dad's. The worst soda, Leo, I would have to say is Brio. I don't care for Brio at all. It's the Italian soda, if you're not familiar with it. Most convenience stores have it for some reason. And then, of course, almost any Italian food store or restaurant will have it. And it's just bitter. It's the beginnings of Coke, and then they just yank it all away. There's nothing that comes with it. It's just the worst parts. Chase said, hell yeah, Game Gear. Game Gear was so much better than Game Boy. And it bothers me that everyone's like, Game Boy, Game Boy, Game Boy, Game Boy Color. It's like Game Gear was color from the beginning. The hell is wrong with you people? It's horrible. It's so bad. Game Boy is horrible. Game Boy Advance was horrible. They're like, oh, guess we got to put a light on this thing. We have an attachment with a light because our machine doesn't work very well. Game Gear never had this issue. They had a nice little carrying case. I used to play it in the car. I used to hook it up to the lighter because I'm 62. Leo said, what's the best milkshake flavor? Honestly, I say you got to go straight vanilla. Like good, quality, fresh. Nothing beats a vanilla. Nails wants to kill the rabbits. So Karia said, I was looking forward to your mom's review. Are you all going to have to wait? Katie said, crimson or scarlet? I like scarlet. The crimson letter just doesn't have the same ring to it. Leo said, is it cold brew weather yet? June? Absolutely. You should be switching to cold brew until at least middle of September. Unless it's like an abnormally cold morning, blustery, whatever. I've had cold brew almost all year round because I'm already heated. It's kind of a me thing. But June time, let's go. Katie said, will you be growing an Inspector Poirot in style mustache? I don't think so. Is this it? Okay, I guess I am. Here we are. One of you is a murderer. So Kari said, Nails, I'll make her bet. I've lost. Oh, God. David's here, too. I've missed every. Blue Meanie is here. Oh, gee. Okay. Let me go through. I got off. That circumcision rant was a real derailment. Neil said, I genuinely don't think I've missed a Sunday morning since I found you. I won't make plans that will interfere with it. Damn. What plans are you making on a Sunday morning? Anyone who wants to see you on a Sunday morning is a priest or an asshole. Sometimes both. Katie said, microwave or toaster oven? Toaster oven. KDM said, is Anthrax the biggest of the big four? Oh, yes, they were a great band. SM said, which is better, Bill Nye or Beak Beekman? The wonderful Paul Zaloom, head and shoulders above the rest. Didn't have the staying power, didn't have the interest in science to see it through. Katie said, have you ever swam to the Toronto Islands? Absolutely not. Spot Center said, what's your favorite wild game to purchase at the St. Lawrence Market? Anthony Kingdom James tried venison recently. I've tried venison. I just like the seafood is better. I like a good hearty shrimp. I know it's not wild. I know it's not game, but nevertheless. Yolanda's here. Say good morning, party people. Nell said, this week I read a story about a girl who went skydiving for a first date with a guy and thought it'd be funny to say he was committing suicide and wanted someone to go with him as he jumped. What? Girl who went skydiving for a first date with a guy who thought it would be fun. Yeah, it's not. That's not. Yet. Can you follow up, Nails, and see if they're still together? Pogirl said, got sick of the turtleneck look. Leo said, did you play Mario darts? I played Waluigi darts. They're my favorite. You run into him in a bar. She didn't give him a second date. Thank you, Nails. I appreciate that. That's good to know. He sounds like a fun fella. Scope said, good morning, Mr. Metropolis. David is here and said, good morning, all my friends. Brandon said, I was trying to write a joke about my circumcision, but I don't have an end for it. And then he repeated the punchline. I don't have an end for it. Blue Meanie is here. Good morning, all. Blue Meanie, David Arquette. This is Blue Meanie. Positively E said, City Show, better not bring your mom. We all met. Actually, I just realized we all met. I know you guys have met before. I just wanted to introduce you guys. Barks. Katie said, but Barks has Bite, but I don't know if it's still sold anymore. So Karia said, Friday was my mom's first time in an airplane, so she's exhausted. This girl is just cramming it all in. Oh my goodness, get her on a pair of skis. David said the irony, the Coke he likes is caffeine-free. He declares his love on the show about coffee. I love coffee. I don't necessarily just love caffeine. So people go, oh, it's caffeine pills. I've taken a caffeine pill, and it's not fun. And I don't even get the same. I'm addicted to coffee in the same way people are addicted to cigarettes. It's more than just the nicotine property, David, as I'm sure you understand. It's the whole performance of the pack and the, you know what I mean? I enjoy the physical performance of having a coffee, and I'm doing it for all of you. So to just have, or the people who get their caffeine from soda blow my mind. Somebody's like, yeah, I wake up in the morning and I just need to wake up, so I'll have a Mountain Dew. I'm like, the hell is, how are you not dead? But I have a full soda, like full sugar, full everything. I need to take a back seat. That's like a new drug for me. Where I'm like, yesterday I was fucked up. Oh my goodness. I had a 7-Up, and it just, you don't know what they're lacing it with. Neil said, how are his soda references even obscure? David said, RJ, it's Coco's 17th birthday. I saw Christina post about it, and I don't have any pictures with her, but I think there's a picture of her giving me the finger. So Coco, if you're watching, the happiest of birthdays to you. And, you know, despite the genetic setbacks you've been given because of who your father is and because your mother made me a horrible cappuccino or refuses to make me another one, I think you're a talented enough, good-hearted enough person to overcome that all. So good luck, and I'm here for you. If you need anything, I don't know what you would need. My advice would be to not ask me for anything. But yeah. Katie said, Game Gear was always superior, but a battery eater. You got to plug it in. Katie said, did you have a TV tuner adapter for your Game Gear? I did, but I was too young to understand all the mechanics. Leo said, in the UK, root beer is called Dandelion and Burdock, and it's Dandelion and Burdock, and it's considered an old person's drink. Root beer is kind of considered like a nobody's drink here. It was like, they stopped drinking it in like 1973, maybe. They were just like, we're done. And then they came up with a cool, hip 90s root beer, Barks Has Bite. And then that lasted for maybe 2 years. SM said, happy birthday. Everyone's saying happy birthday to Coco. David, just wake her up or call her, what the hell are you doing? And read her all these nice comments. That is so sweet. Leo said, we literally just read that. David said, everything RJ liked is obscure. That's not. That's true. It's valid. Shaunika said, stayed out. Latest I've been out since before times last night. A whole 2 a.m. I feel obligated to sing, good morning to you. Thank you. And what the hell? Who does that? Nobody does that anymore. And you're up, and it's not even 10? Get your shit. Have a shower. I know where you've been, and I'm telling you, you need a shower. Neil said, Leo, it's not the same. I love Dandelion and Burdock, but root beer is disgusting to me. Well, we're getting. Shaunika said, I hope everyone's having a lovely morning, and you get your shit together. Katie said, when you switch in September, are you jumping into pumpkin spice? No. It's got to be really, really, really cold for me to want hot coffee. And it's never cold like in the house, so I don't have the need. Pumpkin spice is, I was just talking about this, how like mainstream will ruin everything. So once something becomes mainstream, you have like 8 months at best to enjoy it before it's ruined. Pumpkin spice is a great example. Do you remember like milks? Like when I was in high school, soy milk was like cutting edge. Everyone was like, this is going to blow milk out of the water. And then it became mainstream. And then they were like, oh, it gives you breasts. And they're like, stop it. So then right after soy was almond. And then almond was hot for a second. And then there was something about the almond farming, whatever they're doing. So they canned that. And then came coconut and oat. And now they're on to banana milk. So I'm really keeping my finger on the pulse of alternative dairy products. Rise, developing tomorrow's wrestling attraction, said, have you ever considered reenacting Cesar Romero's alleged orange slice activities simply for the cheap viewership pop? I could bounce a tangerine off my cheeks like nobody's business. I'm more fascinated about what he did with David Arquette. What he did with Desi Arnaz, same initials. What Cesar Romero did with Desi Arnaz. And I'll leave you and your crack research team to figure that one out. Katie said, was Burroughs' greatest mystery to solve that of Harry and the Hendersons? The answer was, I think it was just John Lithgow dressing up in that costume. David said, venison isn't obscure enough a meat for RJ. I only eat quail. Neil said, would you give Nails from the WWF a second date? Only if he had that hip voice changer. Positively, Issa DeBurger. I guess that's from the Pink Panther starring Steve Martin. So glad we canceled Steve Martin. Matt said, answer an argument at work. When eating steak, do you go rare, medium rare, or well done? It's my understanding the more well done the steak, the harder it is to digest. And if it's good quality steak, generally speaking, the rarer the better. I mean, you want it cooked, but well done is like, pfft. So I mean, some are shit and you have to cook it to just, it's probably better off eating burnt. Spot Center said, if your gimmick is to play steel drum on the way to the ring, would you try to master it before your first match or play poorly but act it's the bomb? I don't think anyone in wrestling who plays a musical instrument plays it genuinely well. I think that's like implied. You only need a couple of notes. Maybe I would just go bop, 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 ba-dop, bop, and that's all you ever hear from me. SM said, my former landlady was Paul Zaloom's PR person. SM, I'm going to need a lot more information about this because that's fascinating. What is the Zaloom man up to now? Katie said, are you addicted to coffee more than Robert Palmer was addicted to love? I'm addicted to Arnold Palmer, the man. Katie said, how is that guy's sperm count after Mountain Dew for breakfast? Remember that whole thing? Mountain Dew lowers your sperm count? And everyone's like, oh, we should really stop drinking this. And then they were like, don't have your iPhone in your pants. It'll also ruin your penis. And they're like, yeah, but I like to text. Neil said, do you use pre-workout? Sometimes I do. If it's around, I will use it. If it's not around, I won't use it. Maybe an afternoon coffee. Instead, little pick-me-up. That kind of thing. I do love the burning sensation. I will have it sometimes instead of an energy drink before I wrestle. It's way cheaper. 60-second dramatic reading of the Beverly Hillbillies' rise to prominence. Let me get the... Here we go. It's going to be longer than 60 seconds, but I'm giving this Huckleberry away. Okay. Are we ready? No? Okay. Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer, barely kept his family fed. And then one day, he's shooting at some food. And up through the ground comes a bubbling crude. Yeah, oil, that is. Black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, Jed is a millionaire. The kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. They said, California is the place you ought to be. So we loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is. Swimming pools, movie stars, the Beverly Hillbillies. That was my dramatic reading of the theme for the Beverly Hillbillies. Oh my God, Nug is here. Good morning, all. Hello, David. Hello, Beanie. Hello, Nug. Katie said, oh, Jesus, I missed everything. David just sent a tribute apropos of fucking nothing. Thanks for the discount Cameo. Thank you. My Cameo has been going well. Somebody ordered this morning it was like, it's my husband's birthday, and he likes you. And then I feel burdened and weird, but I get through it. It is a discount Cameo. Thanks for figuring out that loophole. I hope you clip it and send it to her. Don't show this. She does not want to watch this, I assure you. And as much as you want her to like, she's not. Deb said, I love root beer. It's very popular in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, the root beer state. Nell said, Nug, I thought it was so cool to see you mentioned in the PWI article, as is David. It's the latest copy of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. It's at wherever magazines are sold. I don't know. I went to Target and they didn't even have any magazine section. It really messed me up. But if there are magazines, there's going to be a PWI. My name is on the cover. My face isn't. My name is on the cover, and then inside there's like 4 pages. The writer is Kari Williams. She did a lovely job, and the quotes. People are well quoted. Nug said root beer is naturally decaffeinated. The bite is Barks actually added. I just thought they meant it was cool. So I was loading up on Barks, and I was all hopped up. I was a real caffeine kid. I miss those Lipton Brisk commercials. Neil said, my RJ quote shirt arrives tomorrow. I'm excited, as am I, and I need to see it. Please do send pictures. Nug said, thanks, Nails. Kind of blew my mind to see my name in a magazine I've read since I was a kid. It's PWI. I've seen a lot of weird people in it. So is Meanie. They used to put the results in the back, and they still do. They're like, Spotlight. It'll be like Ozark Championship Wrestling. What the hell is this? Leo said, what about cream soda? That's an acquired taste for sure. I'll tell you what's even more acquired is that the white Freezy is cream soda flavored. I think we've been through this before, but just think about it. Spot Center said, do you have a favorite Cartwright? Nancy? And is it Bonanza or Ponderosa in your house? You watch Bonanza. You eat at the Ponderosa. Deb said, cream soda is extremely popular in PA, Pennsylvania, the cream soda state. Neil said, when I was in high school, soy milk was cutting edge. Wait, was it not? You're like, what? Other milk? Not from cows? David said, that's a good put down. This guy only likes his coffee cold. It's like the old expression. He's a guy that wears his suspenders with a belt. He's a few tigers short of a full Siegfried and Roy show. David said, Desi Arnaz equals David Arquette. You know, when I think of pioneering sitcom producers, I think of Desi Arnaz and David Arquette and Debbie Allen. Katie said, tangerine or clementine? I'm going to have to test and see which bounces off my cheeks better. Hamburger said, who's the better fake wrestler, Jason Hervey or David Arquette? More successful just as a human being, Jason. Better fake wrestler, David Arquette. Better real wrestler, David Arquette. Katie said, does eating venison give you concerns about prion disease? Well, I mean, now I have it, so thanks. Leo said, I wore suspenders once and they made my groin feel odd. Well, you have to wear them over your shoulders. Aaron said, Nug, yesterday I found a photo of when I met you at Evil Dead previews. Isn't that so? What a little group. Spot Center said, when you have quail, do you have potato on the side? Yes, I do see what you did. It was nice. And such a meme before memes, Dan. Nail said, hamburger. All wrestlers are fake, but how dare you? David Arquette is a wonderful wrestler, and we won't stand for slander of him from anyone but RJ. Now you can let other couple people do it. Brandon Doty said, well done. Had a good little Smoky Mountain run. You're just rhyming your ass off. Laura said, 60 seconds of you singing whatever you want. I'll pay you later. I'll tell you what. We're not going to do that. I'll pay you on Tuesday for a hamburger today. Eric Roberts is here. I'm a new fan, and I've fallen in love with you. The great Eric Roberts. And this is what I'm talking about. You get Nug from Evil Dead. You get David Arquette from, he did a couple movies once. You have the Blue Meanie here, and you got Eric Roberts. A cavalcade of stars. SM said, RJ is still, guys, RJ is still fundraising for the Ali Forney Center on his Instagram. Please consider donating if you can. I think you can see it on the button. Maybe the next picture I post, I will share it again. It's for the B. Arthur Fund. I guess I'm doing it all of June. It's nice. And if I can donate $1,000, then they give me a medallion and they put it on a wall with my name on it, and I'm considered a friend of B. So as much as I would like to help the homeless LGBTQ youth, it's also like a win-win. Katie said, what about the medicinal properties of quail eggs shells? I put it in my hair and it's great. Po Girl just made a donation and a mic drop for no reason, but I respect you. Spot Center said, Man Mountain Rock embarrassed heavy metal Van Hammer with a blistering guitar solo in WCW after Van Hammer just carried a guitar from There's a lot of carrying of instruments. Honky really could not be bothered to learn more than a few notes, if any. Katie said, Gallagher or Landsberg? I have only met Gallagher. I did like Landsberg in the beginning. I was a big Landsberg. I was an off-the-record guy. Shanika said, I showered and did my whole skincare routine last night. Thank you very much. This isn't my first rodeo, sir. Shanika is a vet of staying out late and yet has done it enough to make sure she can recover well in the morning. Katie said, did you enjoy when Jim Varney was Jed in the movie adaptation? I thought he did a fantastic job, and it was great to be earnest-ish, but not full earnest. It was well casted. It was just a bad movie. Now it would be like a full, series on. Have you noticed that Netflix comedy series are never actually funny? There's no jokes, just a bunch of bad, sad things happen, and they go, well, it's a dark comedy. Hamburger said, whenever you sing, I close my eyes and Rosie O'Donnell appears in my head. Close them again, and you'll see John McD and the McDLTs. David said, RJ thinks Texas tea is cold brew coffee. I can't wait. We were supposed to go to Texas. We were supposed to go to South by Southwest, and I was going to get a cowboy hat. It's for the best. Positively, he just said Metallica, apropos of nothing. David said, RJ loves Pennsylvania because of Sheets. First of all, David, that's Sheets with a Z, not an S. The second S, I'm saying. Not the first. It's not Z-H-E-E-T-S. It's S-H-E-E-T-Z. Sheets is everything wonderful about the United States of America. And pretty much only Sheets. Nail said, try Walgreens or Barnes & Nobles for PWI by the time you get to this comment. Thank you, Nails. I will. I already tried Walgreens. It was not in there. It upset me. Gotta get, it just came out. So it's got to hit the areas. And Canada, you'll get it 6 months from now. SM said, wherever magazines are sold is such a fucking lie. I tried several places and couldn't find PWI. Ordered the issue online. Just give it a minute. Look, your issue's coming. I just like to browse. Blumini said, what up? Now, Matt said, my RJ City shirt is on the way from Pro Wrestling Tees. Now, that's entertainment. That's actually, merchandising. But, what are you going to do? Katie said, would you consider having Bill Apter as a guest? A while ago, The Bump tweeted out, who would you like to see as a guest on Wednesday Morning Wake Up with me? And feel free to continue quoting it and tagging people and sending it to the people you want on the show, because who the hell knows? I've had no trouble getting people, and now I'm going for Henry Winkler. Give me the wink, or maybe Kathy Lee or Susan St. James. It could be anyone, and I'm down for everyone. So do get aggressive. Leo said, I heard Bill Apter has bad breath. Well, I'll let him defend himself via Zoom. David said, the sadness in his eyes. I miss those brisk commercials. I do. Hey, yo, remember that? And it was also Joe Piscopo as a claymation Sinatra. David said, RJ just called me a real wrestler. Sometimes there's a glitch in his heel persona. Are you not aware of my general thoughts on wrestling? Really wouldn't call it a compliment coming from me. I mean, you are touched to be called that, but it's not the highest regard I can place someone. And Nail said, why did he say potato like that? So Posh, because it's with an E, and Dan Quayle spelled potato with an E. I feel like this is Murphy Brown. Blue Meanie said, no matter how cold brisk iced tea is, it's still warm. It's because it had a thick can. Jacob said, wait, you're not really Paul Roma's son? I'm Paul Roma Jr., baby. That's me. He's be a good person to get on the show. Yolanda said, this is a star-studded chat. David said, I'll still boo you because I'm generous. Thank you for remembering. Katie said, Eric Roberts versus Lance Henriksen. Who you got? Lance Henriksen narrated Monster Brawl, the film I was in. So we have that in common, and that's about it. SM said, went to an album signing on Friday. A guy tripped and fell very hard right in front of the band members. There was a hole on the wooden flooring where his knee went through. I was devastated for him. Did they give him a free copy? Did they, at least, if you're not going to actually touch and read, did they just, are you okay? Like, even if you just a little bit of this, that's more than enough. Let me press my coffee at some juncture. Pogirl said, actor Eric Roberts from the King of Queens paintball episode, the very same. David said, when I first met Eric Roberts, he shotgunned a joint to me. Was that his whole, and then did he say, I'm Eric Roberts. My acting hero from Star 80, and they took my thumb. They took my thumb, Charlie, and that's why you named your son Charlie from the Pope of Greenwich Village. My acting hero from Star 80, and they took my thumb, is blowing smoke in my mouth. And look where it's gotten you. Dear Lord, maybe you should give it back. Katie said, you made Big Show cry by suggesting his Netflix show is not funny. Okay, show. But some of them are like, do you know what I'm talking about? There's very HBO-y, Showtime-y. It's a comedy series. And it's not funny, but there's like no jokes in it. Does that make sense? Jacob said, Greg Valentine was the ultimate I'll carry a guitar but not play wrestler. That's for sure. He also hated knee pads. Let me do a nice standing press. Maureen was a funny. What are we talking about now? Nell said, David has the best stories. I can't wait for the Arquette memoir. Oh, Lord. It's I've spilled it on myself. I don't even want to look right now. Eric said, I'm not the Eric Roberts, but I'm an Eric Roberts, but I'm more than happy to twist one up with you, David. David is friends. David will shotgun a joint with any Eric Roberts. If your name is Eric Roberts, you're like, hey, pal, let's go. Let's see if I did any damage to my underwear. I spilled some on my hand. Is it? No, we're seems to be okay. Okay, we're fine. To pat myself down. David said, Bucky's is the Sheets of Texas. Well, maybe next time we got to go to Texas. Let's make something else for South by Southwest. You know, let's do the David Arquette, Eric Roberts story. That little bromance. It'll be adorable. Was that for the movie Johns? Katie said, do you think you could reverse the pink Cadillac out the entrance of WrestleMania 6 without any issues? It's my understanding, as I give this a hearty pour, it's my understanding that it was pulled out. You know? Almost like with a ring cart, like a trailer. Positively E said, raised a little for B for my birthday on Facebook. Sadly, not enough for a brick. Lord, we're trying. Katie said, can we discuss the time Henry Winkler had a tattoo of Roy Orbison on his ass? I'll ask him. Eric said, David Arquette did karaoke at TFW with some friends of mine. We all love you. David, do you recall that? And do you recall what you sang? KDM said, is Joe Piscopo a crime boss? If he is, it's not a very good one. Crime boss with a cover business of being an AM radio host. I'll get Piscopo on. We'll talk about Lou Albano. Positively E said, there goes your future Netflix special. Netflix the specials, like stand-up specials, have jokes, but I mean like these series. You know what I'm talking about. It'll just be like the most tragic set of circumstances. It'll be like, oh, it's nominated for an Emmy, outstanding comedy. KDM said, how good are your dropkicks? The good ones are very good. The bad ones are not so good. Neil said, who do you not want as a guest on Wednesday morning wake up? That's a good question. Well, Stanley Tucci and Mark Ruffalo, and I think that's really it. Spot Center said, having lived In Pennsylvania most of my life, the cream soda state, I can assure you in some of the rural areas, they love sheets with an S and also storming the Capitol with a cream soda. Positively E said, Effie already did the cowboy thing. Are you saying wearing a cowboy hat in Texas? That a wrestler wore a cowboy hat in Texas? I'm pretty sure Effie was not the first guy. Thank you. Maureen said, David, what was the name of the movie you made at Big Basin State Park? Katie said, Power and Glory are pretty wonderful. Power and Glory, just because Paul Orndorff to me is just a better singles guy. Leo said, are you joining Tout? I am joining Tout, and I'm very excited. I'll tell you what bothers me. The main WWE Twitter account and Instagram account has no problem tagging me and stuff. Will not actually follow me. And anything I tag them in, they basically send a DM. They never read it. What do I have to do to earn that mystery person's respect? Katie said, Hanna-Barbera or Klasky Supo? Well, after this new Rugrats, Hanna-Barbera. Nails said, oh my God, is that really the story behind naming Charlie? No, Nails. David's grandfather was wonderful comedian Charlie Weaver. Look it up. David said, Wes Craven was not a fan of working with Lance Henriksen on Scream 3. I never saw Wes react to anyone in that way. It's that deep voice is alarming. Poor Wes. Well, maybe Lance did something. Who am I to say, oh, I don't know what Lance was. Could be Lance's fault. Maybe he didn't pick up a check or something. Maybe he was hanging out at the craft service. Maybe he went in. Instead of using a spoon with the mints, he went in with his hand. Katie said, Lucky Louie or Louie? I much prefer Life with Louie. Spot Center said, if you follow Marie Osmond on Facebook, and I know you do, you saw that she met Michael Jackson working at the KOA campground 2 days ago. Jesus. I retweeted last night Neil Sedaka on Twitter, who's hoping to get to 5,000 followers. So please, if you haven't already, follow Neil Sedaka. SM said they did ask if the guy who fell was okay and placed a caution sign over the hole on the floor. The place where the signing took place is a restaurant owned by the band singer. I would have died. The guy probably didn't want to get sued. And that band was the Starland Vocal Band. David said, yes, the Eric Roberts move was before an actual hello. Just lips and smoke coming out. That is hot. That is some steamy B on B action. Katie M said, would you consider having Matt Cross press your coffee while doing his patented flagpole press? I've taken the flagpole press splash. That is not fun. Katie said, if Eric Roberts' lips are coming towards you, how can you resist? I mean, maybe I've made out and I'm just not aware of it, That was a different time. Nail said, RJ would write a great foreword for David's memoirs or a nice quote for the back at least. I'll just doodle in the corner. Blue Meanie said, if David Arquette writes his autobiography, then I want RJ to narrate the audiobook version. And David agrees. There's going to be a lot of sighing in between chapters. Maureen said, haters, back off. That was funny. I don't know still what you're referring to. Please sing happy birthday to my sister Noemi. Remind her that although she's older now, at least she didn't eat shit in front of her favorite singer. Noemi, sometimes age is a good thing. It gives you perspective. It gives you hope. It gives you courage. It gives you confidence. Sometimes it gives you weakened cartilage. And when you're too cocky and you don't understand that your cartilage is weakened, some things will happen in public, including falling in front of your favorite singer from the Starland Vocal Band, who no doubt was planning on having sex with that fallen person, and then immediately upon them falling decided not to, especially when they saw what condition their knees were in. So from the bottom of my heart, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Noemi. Happy birthday to you. David said, I sang Shout from Animal House, I'm sure. Wow, what a niche performer you are. Why don't you sing The Twist or something? Neil said, Meanie, that would be hilarious, but it would be very long, and the eye rolls and dear lords in between stories. Leo said, do you think Tina Fey is hot? Yeah, yes. That was easy. Yolanda said, Meanie, you're a genius. Nail said, SM, happy birthday to your sister. I hope you got her some pistachios. Kate, oh yeah, Leo, I would not have that person on. That goes without saying. No people who have blocked me on Wednesday morning wake up. Katie said, Stanley Tucci or John Turturro? Tucci is out. I want Tucci replaced by Nick Turturro. I want Searching for Italy with Nick Turturro and John Turturro. We'll watch the shit out of that. This idiot walking around going, this espresso's delicious. Has Mark Ruffalo ever watched the show? Great question. And if he has, I would like to know about it because I would like him banned. Shanika said, you say Stanley Tucci, but are you sure you don't mean Mark Strong? No, I mean the Tooch. The Tooch is off the list. Neil said, fuck Mark Ruffalo. I hope he's blocked. David said, the Big Basin movie was Dead Man's Walk, not to be mistaken for Dead Man Walking. One was a shorter walk. It was a Lonesome Dove prequel. And does David even realize that the Lonesome Dove series once starred for a period of time? Bret the Hitman Hart? Another wrestling connection. I can't wait to ask him about that. Happy Fun Bath Time said, Lance should do smart appliance voiceovers. Imagine Lance telling you, you're out of milk. Leo said, I heard you're going to be in the WWE studio versions of Dude, Where's My Car? Yes. Yes, I am. And it's going to be a hoot. And I think we find it at the end. So I'm really looking forward to that ending. What's better, said Scopes. Cats the musical or Sensational Sherry with a cat-style makeup standing ringside? How was she never a Grisabella? That's what I want to know. Spot Center said Neil Sedaka coined the phrase eargasm as a guest judge on a singing talent show, and there's no one I would rather picture having an orgasm from their ear than Neil Sedaka. Katie said, will you be brewing any coffee from InfoWars? No, I think I'll pass. Katie said, Neil Sedaka or Paul Anka? Neil seems like the most down to earth. Paul seems like you need a little bit of work to get to him. There is a documentary, a National Film Board of Canada documentary. So it's public viewing. It's in the National Registry about a young Paul Anka. And it's black and white. It's fascinating. I can't remember the name of it, but it's wonderful. Eston said, I'm dead at weekend cartilage. It happens. Katie said, what about Shout from Tears for Fears? I'm not interested. Spotson shouting and crying, it's sad. Spotson said, around this time a year ago, you and your lovely mother sang Hello Dolly for my mother's birthday. It was a hoot. Don't get me started on residuals. It's a hoot. David said pistachios as a dessert are perfectly obscure for RJ, and pistachio ice cream and putting actual pistachios in them. You know what I'd like to find? Speaking of, it is true. I like to obscure. Can't find Spumoni ice cream anywhere. Shit does not. It's been wiped on the face of the earth. Spumoni got put on some list. Katie said Nick Nolte or Gary Busey. Nolte. He seems like he knows when to be quiet. Leo said, I live for the day Mark Ruffalo comments on here and gets kicked out of the chat. Katie said, oh, what happened? Spot Center said, I have to take Milady to the ER. Bye. At least you were gentlemanly enough to call her Milady. I hope everything is okay. It's good to go to the emergency room. Just bad things happen when you feel like you should go, but you don't. So go. We're with you. We're not with you. I mean, you were with us and you're leaving. So I too hope everything is okay. Dear Lord. How do I transition out of this? Katie said, who is better on Lonesome Dove, Bret Hart or Terry Funk? Terry Funk was great on Quantum Leap. Lonesome Dove was. Bret's heart was in that. TJ Canella said, is this the old RJ City? Love your work, sir. Yeah, it is. The very same. What's it to you, pal? KDM said, is Jason Agnew the best talent show host? Jason Agnew was like genetically constructed to host. Nug said, have you heard the Paul Anka tape when he flips out on his band? Yes, I have. It's not as colorful as the Buddy Rich tape, but it has its own beautiful charm because he's much older and he's like, what fucking difference is it? It's like you're in Atlantic City or whatever. It's just like, you know what I mean? Just let it happen. Let the decline gracefully. SM said, bought some pistachio ice cream at Pistachio Land, home of the world's largest pistachio. Figured it was made there. Nope, it was Bluebell. Still good, though. What a scam they're running. David said, first time I went to Las Vegas, I went with Paul Anka's daughter, Amanda, who is now married to Jason Bateman. We stayed at the Riviera, and just a few years later, I was shooting it up in 3,000 miles to Graceland. What a wonderful, and that's why you have a little bit of that Anka charm. I've always said that about you. And that's why Jason Bateman doesn't like you either. Val said, just wanted to stop in and say, hi, my bathroom in my apartment is flooding and everything is terrible. Put the towels down, Val. That's all I can say. It sucks, but it will be over at some point. When that will be, I'm not sure, but it will come, Val. What a weird day. Katie said, Kurt Russell or Kevin Costner? Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell doesn't seem to take himself too seriously. Kevin feels like if you got him on a plane, he would still argue about how Waterworld was actually good. TJ said, what's it to me? Because of Danhausen. That's all I got to say. Well, if you say so. Nell said, Val, hashtag pop for pancakes, but also, oh no, hope you get it sorted. David said, Paul Anka's misstep wasn't as obscure as Buddy Rich's. But Buddy Rich's was just, it was so like back in the day when it's hard to share it. You know, Paul Anka's, I think, was easy to share. Somebody just recorded it on their phone. They're like, fuck this guy. I do love his album. I think it's called Rock Swings. Paul Anka. I get up and nothing gets me down. That was like the whole. Neil said, I like Jason Bateman. I hope he's a good person. He seems to be. Katie said, Mel Torme or Robert Goulet. I go back and forth almost every day. Universally, a lot of people seem to not like Robert Goulet. So I'm just going to stick with Mel Torme, who's just an adorable little man. Katie said, Kurt Russell or Kerry Russell? You got me. I'm a Felicity guy. David said, fun fact, I got shot in the leg on that set for real. A stunt gone wrong. Did it make it in the movie at least? You would say, if I'm getting shot, at least put it on film. Dear Lord. Accidental shooting victim, David Arquette, which is how I'm going to refer to you from now on. Katie M said, Danhausen or Dan Barry? I like Dan Barryhausen. David said, Kerry Russell for sure, but make sure, Kurt Russell for sure, but make sure he's eating. He gets hangry. And I don't blame him, and so do I. So I think me and Kurt should go have lunch exactly when we want to have it. Can we get Kurt Russell on Wednesday when I wake up? Val said, thank you, guys. You're the best. Stop commenting, Val. Go take care of your bathroom. This is insane here. Neil said, Val, grab the kitty, run away, and call a guy. Val said, maintenance is here. Sorry to hear it, Val. Save the toilet paper. Happy Fun said the Velvet Fog Mel Torme was great. Was on Night Court. He was also on Seinfeld. So Robert Goulet, of course, was on Boy Meets World. Katie said, do these artist revival Rock Swings albums owe Richard Cheese a thanks, gratitude, or royalties? No. You can't tell Paul Anka what the fuck to do. Because Richard Cheese is really basically a parody of Paul Anka in a sense. Neil said, do you have a cool scar, David? He has a couple, and I don't think he's sure where he got them. Leo said, do you cry at movies? I cried once at Harold and Maude. The last movie I cried at was My Girl. Didn't think the kid was going to die. Even though Dan Aykroyd lives in a fucking funeral home. I mean, the writing should have been on the wall. SM said, yes, we need more Scar stories. Katie said, Escape from New York or Big Trouble in Little China. I don't really. I like Big Trouble. I liked the like weird faces. Those are fun when things happen to people and they make weird faces. Katie said, did you cry when Ric Flair retired? No, I cried when he told me he had met Hervé Villachez. I should put that clip up. My face lights up. Did you meet Hervé Villachez? Yes. Really? That was just like the most excited I got that whole show. David said, you probably could get Kurt Russell on Wednesday Morning Wake Up. Just let him promote his wine. Let me talk to these people. We had tag team on. We could get Kurt. Kurt would have been, I think, a good wrestler. I think he would have cut a good promo. I want to see Kurt Angle versus Kurt Russell. Leo said, would you rather do a stand-up set in 2021 comprised of impressions of Austin Powers or Borat? Austin Powers has, I think, a broader appeal. And I think we can go places with it. I think we can have fun. Nail said, I want David and Meanie on Wednesday Morning Wake Up. I've added them to the list. They're going through the list. So I'm continuing to add to the list to see who they pick up. It is a process, but they were amongst the first two names, I assure you. SM said, RJ, how are your kitties? Do they miss you or have they not even noticed your way? I think they are going to be fine. They enjoy shitting and lounging, and they're certainly able to do both. Katie said, Hervé or Odd Job? Hervé, all the way, who apparently always carried a gun on him. David said, thanks, Nails. It's nice to be wanted. And isn't that the catchphrase of the day? Leo said, I know someone named Patrick Conlon who was so upset when Ric Flair retired at WrestleMania 24 that his mom stopped him going to school, then he was so distraught. Well, I'm sorry, he cannot take the test today. Well, as you know, Ric Flair retired. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, I love you. SM said, yes, seeing David on screen always brings joy. I don't know if it always brings joy. Nail said, see David, he wants you too. Katie said, is it shameful for Sacha Baron Cohen to call for more restriction of free speech or censorship? I think it's more nuanced than that. I think he's calling for control of dangerous, harmful information, and free speech does have limitations. Leo said he cries every time he hears that "Leave the memories alone." I left them so long ago. Val said, wow, shitting and lounging were the first two words I heard RJ utter today. Winning? Sure. Deb said, did you make your coffee yet? What the hell are you, Deb? I've done this first cup, and oh, it is bitter. Johnny Lee Miller or Benedict Cumberbatch, who is the better Sherlock? Johnny Lee Miller. I don't know why I say that. I have nothing to base that on. There was a wonderful scene from Rodney Dangerfield's comedy variety show where he plays Sherlock Holmes and all he does is practice the violin and yell at Watson. That, by far, is my favorite Sherlock Holmes. See, Nail said Watson is the real MVP. I liked Sherlock Hemlock, the world's greatest detective from Sesame Street. Leo said, would you drink a cappuccino made by Virgil? Listen, if I didn't like the cappuccino made by Courtney Cox, I'm not going to like the one made from Virgil. And he's going to charge me through the roof for it anyway. David said, as a matter of fact, it was Hervé Villachez that shot me at the Riviera Hotel on the set of 3,000 Miles to Graceland. It was all over a woman. It's always over a woman with Hervé. She was mine before she was yours, David. Sorry. You guys would have been so good together. I just want people on Wednesday Morning Wake Up who've met Hervé Villachez. That's the new bar. David said Johnny Lee Miller was in Dead Man's Walk, and now we've come all the way around. Well, it's been a delightful little show. Katie said, would Sacha Baron Cohen want to ban Carol O'Connor? I think you're missing the nuances of All in the Family, Katie. Leo said, I work at a library, and a lot of guys like Virgil come in to check their emails. Nug said, shoot the leg. That's his impression of Hervé Villachez chain wrestling. Calling it on the fly. One of the great vets of our time, Hervé Villachez. So Karia said, my mom just woke up. So, let's get a final shot of the underwear just for Sokaria's mother. Everyone else, close your eyes, let her watch. Nell said, we've had some crazy questions. So Sakaria, show her the Hervé Villachez impression, and then these underwear, and that'll be it. No, I'm not staying for her mother. Her mother missed the boat because she was on a boat, okay? So next week, she can decide not to get on a boat, and then she can get on my boat, okay? The SS City. And we are next stop, the port. David said, I love you all. Oh, Jesus. Well, I'm happy he had his therapy today. Let's get a final look at these. They're fun and nice, as I pretend to be. Godspeed.